Recorded Books Incorporated presents an unabridged recording of Bone by Bone by Peter Matthiessen, narrated by George Guidell. This work is copyrighted 1999 by Peter Matthiessen. This recording is copyrighted 1999 by Recorded Books Incorporated. In Killing Mr. Watson, Peter Matthiessen recreated the life of the legendary E.J. Watson, who was gunned down by a posse of fearful neighbors on October 24, 1910. In the sequel, Lost Man's River, Matthiessen returned us to the lawless frontier of the Florida Everglades, where Watson's son, Lucius, sought to untangle the knot of truth and lies surrounding his notorious father and his strange death. Now, the story unfolds in its final form, in the voice of the enigmatic Mr. Watson himself. And now, Bone by Bone.
Chapter 1. "Oh, mercy," cries the reader. "What, old Edgefield again? It must be pandemonium itself, a very district of devils." Parson Mason L. Weems. Edgefield Courthouse. Edgefield Courthouse, which gave its name to the settlement which grew from a small crossroads east of the Savannah River, is a white-windowed brick edifice upon a hill approached by high roads from the four directions, as if drawing the landscape all around to a point of harmony and concord. The building is faced with magisterial broad steps on which those in pursuit of justice may ascend from Courthouse Square to the brick terrace. White columns serve as portals to the second-story courtroom, and an arched sunrise window over the door fills that room with austere light, permitting the magistrate to freshen his perspective by gazing away over the village roofs to the open countryside and the far hills, blue upon blue. Early in the war, a boy of 6, I was borne lightly up those steps on the strong arm of my father. On the courthouse terrace I gazed with joy at this tall man in Confederate uniform, who stood with his hand shielding his eyes, enjoying the fine prospect of the Piedmont, bearing away toward the northwest and the Great Smoky Mountains. In those nearer distances lay the ridge, where a clear spring appeared out of the earth to commence its peaceful, slow descent through woodland and plantation to the Edisto River. This tributary was Cloud's Creek, where I was born. On that sunny day when we climbed to the terrace, my father, Elijah Daniel Watson, rode away to war, and childhood ended. As a daughter of Edgefield, his wife Ellen, with me and my little sister, waved prettily from the courthouse steps as the first Edgefield volunteers assembled on the square. Her handsome Lige, wheeling his big roan and flourishing a crimson pennant on his saber, pranced in formation in the company of cavalry formed and captained by his uncle Tillman Watson. Governor Andrew Pickens saluted the new company from the terrace, and so did Mama's cousin Selden Tillman, the first volunteer from our old Edgefield district and its first casualty. Called to the top step to inspire his townsmen, the young cavalry officer used one crutch to wave the blue flag of the Confederacy. "Hurrah, hurrah for Southern rights! Hurrah, hurrah for the bonny blue flag that flies the single star!" Governor Pickens roared, "May the brave boys of Edgefield defend to the death the honor and glory of our beloved South Carolina, the first great sovereign state of the Confederacy to secede from the Yankee Union." And Cousin Selden, on some mad contrary impulse, dared answer the governor's exhortation by crying out oddly in high tenor voice, "May the brave boys of Edgefield defend to their deaths our sovereign right to enslave the darker members of our human species." The cheering faltered, then died swiftly to a low, hard groan like an ill wind. Voices cat-called rudely in the autumn silence. Most citizens gave the wounded lieutenant the benefit of the doubt, concluding that he must have been dead drunk. He had fought bravely and endured a grievous wound, and he soon rode off to war again, half mended. Cloud's Creek. When the war was nearly at an end, and many slaves were escaping to the north, a runaway was slain by Overseer Claxton on my great-uncle's plantation at Cloud's Creek.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.